in this tutorial we are discussing about the next collection data type, that is nothing but list. Okay, that is nothing but list. Actually, for Python developers there is a proverb like list is not just a part of Python, just list is heart of Python. Okay, why I'm telling like that is because, so in Python, okay, without list data type we cannot imagine Python coding at all. Okay, so that means like a Python, I mean in Python, list is such a very important data type where with which Python whole programming of Python will revolve around. So let us try to understand what this list is and why we will call the list as such an important data type. All those things we will discuss. Okay, we will try to understand in this. Now let us see how it works. Okay, so list is basically a collection of elements. Okay, list is basically a collection of elements closed inside, okay, closed inside square brackets. Okay, closed inside square brackets is known as list. Okay, collection of elements closed inside square brackets is nothing but a list. Okay, now list has certain properties. Okay, list follows certain rules. So all those rules that list follows we'll discuss in detail in this data type. Now list is, okay, in list insertion order is preserved. Okay, in list insertion order is preserved. That means in the order, okay, in the order what we entered in the order what we entered, in the same order, okay, internally in the same order data will get stored. Okay, order what we entered cannot be changed. Okay, order won't be changed again and again in list. So now let us see how that will work. Okay, now let me create a list which contains the numbers from 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 like that. Okay, so now I have created a list, right? So I want to check the data type. I want to use this function called as type of. Okay, with the help of this type of function I have checked the data type, that is nothing but list. Now if I want to, okay, if I want to access the access the first element, I need to use the 0th index. Same way, if I want to access the second element, I need to use the I need to use the index 1. Okay, in that way we can access the element. Now let me print this entire list. Okay, let me print this entire list. See, in the order, okay, I entered in the order like 10. First I entered 10, then 20, then 30, then 40, then 50, then 60 like that. Okay, so in the order what I have entered, data is also stored in the same order, isn't it? Okay, in the order what we have entered, in the same order data also got stored. That's why list for, okay, we always say this rule that list follows that insertion order is preserved rule. Okay, that means whatever the order we entered, in the same order data will get stored. Second rule that we want to discuss here is nothing but duplicates are allowed. Okay, duplicates are allowed to take inside a list. Now let us see a list. Okay, let us take a list. Now suppose I am creating a list. Okay, I am creating a list which contains the numbers, okay, which contains same element is repeating multiple times. Okay, it contains same element is repeating multiple times. Okay, so same element is repeating multiple times. That means okay, in list we have multiple tens. Okay, in the same list we have multiple tens, multiple 20s, multiple 30s, multiple 40s, and 150 of course. So in list, okay, in list data contains duplicates. Okay, in list data contains duplicates. That means like it's not mandatory that in list we have to maintain only once. Okay, one element can be present multiple times in a list. So in that way we can say that duplicates are allowed in list. Next point is nothing but heterogeneous objects are allowed. Okay, heterogeneous objects, that means like in list there is no compulsion. Okay, there is no compulsion that in list every time we need to enter only one type of data. Okay, that means in list we can, okay, it's not mandatory that we need to enter only numbers or only strings or only boolean values. It's not mandatory to enter only one kind of data. Okay, now we have the luxury to enter any kind of the data type which we want. Okay, now if you see the below example, in this example we have, okay, we have some integers, some strings, some complex numbers, some boolean values. Okay, we have multiple things in the, okay, we have multiple things in the list. Now let us see Okay, now let us see that this list contain, okay, now let us see that this list contains this multiple data types. Okay, and list contains this multiple data types. So see, like we entered multiple data types in just one list. That's why we call that list support heterogeneous objects. Okay, we can enter multiple data types in a single list. Now the next thing is nothing but list is dynamic. Okay, list is dynamic with respect to size. That means list is completely mutable. Okay, I just want to make this point very clear. So list is a mutable data type. That means once we create a list, we can update the content, we can add new elements, we can remove the existing element. Okay, so since we are able to add, remove and update, so that may, okay, in that way list size is not constant always. Okay, list size can keep on increasing every time. Okay, so list size can increase, decrease, anything can happen. That's why we call list as a mutable data type. Okay, now in it at the zeroth index. Okay, at zeroth index I have the element called as 10. Now I don't want this element as 10. I want to update this element as something like 999. Okay, if I update this element to something to 999, then see it's completely accepting. See, before zeroth element is 10, now it is updated to 999. That's why we call list as a mutable data type, because content in the list is completely updatable. Next thing we want to discuss here is nothing but list supports indexing and slicing. Okay, indexing and slicing means, as I already told you in the previous videos, like indexing means we can access elements. Okay, indexing and slicing is the way of accessing elements. So zeroth index we have 10, and one index we have, I mean zeroth index we have 999, and one index we have 20. Like that we can access elements present in a list by using indexing and slicing. I hope all of you understand all these points with respect to list. Okay, so basically list is a collection of elements. Here it is mutable. Okay, now let us move to the next data type which is very similar to list. Okay, now let us move to the next data type which is very similar to list, but of course it is not exactly like list. Okay, of course it is similar to list, but it is very different from list. That is nothing but tuple. Okay, now we are moving ahead to the next data type.